Hello folks, this is Tom from anti-proton.com, and I have had a long day at work, but I'm not so messed up and tired as I usually am. I'm usually ridiculously tired and I'm like this and can't talk straight, but I'm perfectly fine now. I've just had a really long day. I wanted to respond to a few comments that I've been getting from people. So this is a hodgepodge of comments, and if you left me comments, you may or may not be in here. I can't tell you for sure. But here's the deal. A little bit of news first. This coming week, starting Monday and ending hopefully Friday, I will be leaving the comfy eastern part of the United States, and I will be traveling to the western part of the United States. I am on a special assignment that I can't talk about in any way, shape, or form. But it'll be fun. And of course I'll bring my Geiger counter with me and set up shop so everybody can see everything. I'll take readings on the West Coast and all my usual stupid things that I do, because that's what science people do. And I'll answer your questions and everything, as I'll have a mobile... I'll be set up well, let's just put it like that. I need to get a haircut though. I'm not sure how that will go down where I'm headed. They usually like people with shorter hair. But I'm going to cut my hair by a couple inches. Generally speaking, I'm not paid because of my hair. I'm paid because I can stand up on a board and do incredible science stuff rapidly. So, it should be good. I'll put on a tie. They'll like that. Alright, getting to my comments. The very first comment that I have on my list here, so you have my iPad with all my comments on it. Why I have an iPad, I don't know. iPads suck. But, of course it makes me a hypocrite because I own one. EDPOTK1. EDPOTK1? EDPOTKAY number 1. Whatever the hell your name is. It says, no offense. And you like what comes next because it has a little bit of offense in it. No offense, but if you are so worried about radiation, I am, you should also be worried about chemtrails. Oh, lovely chemtrails. We'll talk about that in a minute. As they contain, he says, now this is what he straight up says, as they contain barium and aluminum oxide. I rather like aluminum oxide. You've proved me wrong. No. No. If you're arguing an argument, as you apparently arguably are, then you want to satisfy what's called a modus ponens argument. You want to say that your argument is correct, not that I prove you're wrong. Remember, A implies B, A therefore B. That's logically true, as opposed to what you want me to do, which is a modus tollendo ponens argument, which is me saying A therefore B, not B, therefore not A, which is logically, and it's a logical fallacy. Like it's a juvenile logical fallacy. So no, I will not prove you wrong. You prove yourself right. Burden of proof on you. Anyway, I have evidence to back it up. He says, oh good, then you can do that. Whose side are you on, Tom? The evil empire. I don't know. Good or evil? Oh, it's contained in there. I hadn't realized. Good or evil? I'm like indifferent, I think. I don't want to be like the good, because good's never cool. But I'm not really evil. I mean, I'm just not very good at evil. I want to know. Oh, well, I'm answering you now. Let's get into chemtrails for a minute, okay? I am not an expert of atmospheric phenomenon, even though I did take a year of astronomy. Astronomy, yeah. Because I'm an idiot. Yes, astronomy, where you study the sky. You study space when you do astronomy. You know what I mean? And a cosmology, of course, same sort of thing. Long day. Meteorology. I took a year of meteorology. There, I said it correctly. Where I learned about cumulus, altocumulus, stratus, cirrus, adiabatic cooling, condensation nuclei, occlusions of fronts, that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm no expert on it. I've taken a little tiny itty bitty bit of it, And chemtrails are this theoretical thing that conspiracy people talk about, where they believe that the airplanes are flying over top of us, and the contrails that come out of the back of them are not contrails. Now, the amusing part is some of them believe that all the contrails are chemical trails, meaning trails of chemicals, hence chemtrails. And the other group, which is more prevalent and Even though, if they were correct, they would be the more likely ones. These were the people that think that contrails do exist, but that some of them are actually chemical trails. That's a little more obvious since we all know that normal contrails actually do exist as they should. I mean, I've watched airplanes from above airplanes. Well, I'm not going to get into that, but I've seen things like that, and I know for a fact. I've seen jet engine testing, and I know, well, it does that. So anyway, I can't tell you for a fact, obviously, that chemtrails don't exist because I can't prove they don't exist. But I've yet to see proof that they do exist. Notice that whole modus ponens thing, basic fundamental logic that one learns. Yeah, so they taught me that in some random math class, and when I was at the university, they drilled it into my head. Disjunctive syllogisms are my favorites. It is either A or B. It is not B, therefore it must be A. Of course, that's also a logical fallacy. That's a disjunctive syllogy. I thought it was kind of funny. But anyway, the point is, they have this concept that if a contrail dissipates rapidly, that somehow it must be chemicals. That's not true. It has a lot to do with the pressure and the lack of condensation nuclei. There's that word again. And various other environmental factors, the sun that's out and everything like that, how much light you have, well, not this light, but the energy that's flowing from the sun, the photons, they have to actually have an incidence with the material that's falling down. And here's another one. Why in the hell would anybody be trying to kill us all off with chemtrails? What's the point? If it's the bad guys, then the government would know about it and blow them up. If it's the government, then why the hell would they do that? They need our tax money to pay for them. Getting rid of us would be, well, if nothing more, even if they were totally evil, which they're not, it would be dumb. It would be pointless. It would be counterproductive. Why? If anybody can come up with a good reason why that would happen, I don't know. Population control? I doubt it. The United States doesn't need population control per se. I mean, we all as a species probably need to not breed as much as we do, but this anyway. I just goofy. Let's see some other random things. People with Geiger counters. Okay, a Geiger counter. This is another thing I keep getting a lot of this. People that don't know what a Geiger counter is. Geiger counter is a little glass tube that's full of a gas, usually some kind of halogen gas. It is electrically charged one polarity on the outside with usually a wire or filament of some variety going through it that is electrically charged the opposite polarity. And an electrical pulse jumps in between the two. There's capacitance formed as soon as a radioactive event occurs, an ionization event that changes the electrical structure of the electrons that, well, they don't orbit, but that exist as probability densities around the atom. So there you go. It's a little tube like that. The CDV 700 Geiger counter has a Geiger-Müller tube in it. Okay, so does my little tiny hand one. The little tiny digital ones, the little tiny boxy looking digital ones with numbers on them, many of them actually have a Geiger tube in them. They really do. They're actually Geiger counters. I don't know why people think that this is not true. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but I guess if you just don't know what a Geiger counter is, maybe you'd be prone to think something like that. I got some other random ones on here. Where's that other weirdo that keeps talking to me? Where's the weirdo? Here we go. Organica Ascension. No need to articulate upon my observations and comment, he says. You still are clinically insane. Really? Who'd have thought that? The supporting evidence is how your hair defies gravity. It does defy gravity because it has anti-gravitons. Due to the obvious retardation contained in that cranium. In what cranium? You said that cranium. You mean my cranium? You should be more specific. You're not speaking very well. You suck some water up your nasal passages and clean out those anti-human cells embedded in your cerebrum. Did you use like a thesaurus or something? Because I mean, I know those are big words, but they're dumbly put together, stupidly put together, like what I just said. But you get the point. Just because you used a big word in no way, shape, or form makes you smart. If it does, then I will say anti-disestablishmentarianism or electroencephalographic audiometry and unsymmetric dimethylhydrazine. What's some other good ones? Polytetrafluoroethylene. Oh, look, big words. I must be smart. Now you're stupid. Ha ha ha. See, it's actually kind of a pointless thing whatsoever. Just because you can speak eloquently and you can enunciate your little words perfectly, and because you have big long words doesn't mean you have a very big brain or that you're using it correctly. So, yeah, anyway, my 10 minutes is almost up and I've been having a lot of fun, so I'll talk about other things later on. See you all later. This has been Tom from antiproton.com, anti-proton.com. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.